Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR, as we all call it, is the life-saving technique that uses chest compressions to keep the heart active after a cardiac incident. And in honor of National CPR Week, we are bringing back a couple of people who know the benefits of knowing CPR all too well.
If I was at work that morning in the parking garage, I would have laid there till somebody found me. And that just might have been too long.
I just know that Steve's gotten a second lease on life, that God's given him, and I'm just kind of going to be excited to see what he does with that.
Well, it's been more than a year since June performed that life-saving CPR. June Van Valkenburg and Steve Gavernick, thank you very much for being here this morning and joining us. You guys didn't know each other before a year and a half ago. You're just two random people going about your business at a Caribou Coffee. And was it in Wayzata, wasn't it? Yes. Caribou and Wayzata, just minding your own business and kind of set the stage for what happened that January day.
Well, I was there just having coffee and chatting with a friend who stopped by, and I heard a loud noise, and a man had fallen over at the counter, which was Steve, and he had hit his head on the tile floor. That was what I heard. So I ran over there and wasn't sure what was going on initially, if he had just passed out or if he had an insulin reaction, because his friend said he had diabetes, but it became clear that he wasn't breathing and his heart was not beating. So Bob Fisher and I started doing CPR on Steve.
And you're here today because of that.
I'm here today because of that.
That's one of those rare and weird, and again, it raises the hair on everything about you when you realize, had you not been there, had you been 10 minutes late or early, you guys wouldn't be here today on the show. You wouldn't be here today at all.
Not at all.
It's just that simple. I was going to ask the role you played in all this. You were unconscious for the whole affair.
I died.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. When you got on the other side of all this, and you had to reflect back on the actions of June and on others and your own life in general, how did that impact you or change you in any way?
At the time, I was very unhealthy, didn't know it. I mean, I had diabetes, I had high blood pressure, I had high cholesterol, some of them I didn't know. Never had a chest pain. I would get tired if I exerted myself, but I really did not understand how unhealthy I was. I wasn't way overweight, I just was 65 years old. And since then, I have changed my lifestyle. I've reduced my cholesterol. I've reduced my blood sugars. I've exercised every day. I realize I'm incredibly blessed to have been there at that point in time. As you started to indicate, had it happened outside the door, had it happened an hour later in my driveway.
In your car?
In my car.
Yeah, at least all sorts of what-if scenarios. And I think it's important, too. You had a cardiac incident, cardiac arrest?
I guess I'd term it sudden cardiac death. My heart stopped. I wasn't breathing.
It wasn't a heart attack. That's something else entirely. That has to do with blockages and things.
Well, it would have been a heart attack, but it was classified as sudden cardiac death, I think. I had 90% blocked arteries. I had a triple bypass the next morning. Whoa.
This led to all sorts of stuff. June, have you always known CPR? I know you've got a little history from 2015 that may have led to this and put you as a key player in Steve's life as well at the right moment at the right time. Previous to 2015, did you know CPR? Or
yeah, so I'm a nurse practitioner. I work for Alina in an internal medicine clinic. So I do know CPR, but even though I've been in the medical field for many years, I'd never performed CPR before. So.
And heart issues have impacted you and your family?
Yes. Yeah, my husband and I, we lost our middle daughter to sudden cardiac arrest, similar to what Steve had. But she died in her sleep. She was 26 years old, very healthy young woman. She ran half marathons, exercised regularly, had no symptoms of anything cardiac related. And so she was not anywhere where there was anybody around.
Right.
So they felt she had a sudden cardiac arrest in her sleep. And since then, that was almost 2 years ago, our family's gone through a process of genetic testing at the Genetic Arrhythmia Clinic through the Minneapolis Heart Institute. And we found that my husband and our youngest daughter, Joelle, have a type of cardiomyopathy called left ventricular noncompaction. And they have healthy hearts, but they have this variation in their heart muscle. And my husband's brother, Phil, also has this cardiomyopathy, but he had developed some heart disease, and he ended up having a pacemaker and ICD put in. And about 3 years ago, he had a cardiac arrest. But we didn't think anything about it because he was in his 60s. And then this October, he had his second cardiac arrest. So as a result of all that, Jim, my husband, and Joelle, our youngest daughter, have gotten implantable ICDs.
To help on the, heaven forbid something does happen.
Right.
And that'd be good. Real quick, guys, what do you want people to know about CPR? The two of you together, obviously you've both been impacted directly and indirectly. What do people need to know?
I think people need to not be afraid to learn CPR. It's very easy now. The hands-only CPR for bystanders. Really, all you have to do is, the person's heart is not beating, start pushing really hard and fast on their chest.
For the beat of
staying alive.
That's all you have to do. It's just hands-only technique.
Yes.
June, thank you very much for everything that has happened. Steve, I'm glad you're joining us this morning.
Me too.
I think a lot of people are. This is a great story, and again, CPR saves lives. Both of these folks are a testament to all of that. If you want to know more about CPR and perhaps even how to get certified, please visit heart.org. There are many ways you can be certified. And remember, you don't have to be certified if the need arises. It's always better to try, because you can't hurt somebody when they're, to be blunt, when they're already dead. You have to try. All right, coming up, I'll have your Wednesday forecast.